Well, great. It looks like people are joining. I'll give people about a minute just to get into the Zoom room, and then we'll get underway. We're thrilled today to be joined by Lance Pendleton. He's the former head of national agent development at Compass and a current partner at GoodSphere. And we've got Juan Granados from Compass's North Capital Group in Washington, D.C. Obviously, the big theme for today is about digging into the strategy that allows you to unlock value in these shifting markets. And I think we've got two really wonderful perspectives here with Lance and Juan. And I want to get the floor to Lance as quickly as possible, but did want to just quickly introduce myself and a little bit about Form. I am currently, I've got a fake Form kitchen behind me, but Juan actually is sitting in a real Form kitchen in DC. But I'm Michael. I run brand and marketing here at Form. We've actually been an official marketing vendor with Compass for 2+ years. And the easiest way to think about us is we are a modern kitchen design company, and modern in every sense of the word. So we are a digitally forward offering. We cut out that showroom markup and experience. Our cabinetry really indexes high on that modern aesthetic and modern quality. We really deliver a modern customer experience from our service and support all the way through to our free design services, and then also a very modern approach to pricing. It's direct to consumer, so we're saving you anywhere from really 30 to 50% on the product. So basically, when you work with Form, you're getting a beautifully considered, designed, and delivered kitchen that's of studio quality, but closer to Home Depot prices. But we'll send some more follow-up information about Form after this. We'll have a big email blast with a bunch of useful links. But without further ado, I want to hand things over to Lance.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. It's good to see, actually, I was gonna say good to see so many of you, but I realized it's on a webinar, so I can't actually see you. I'll give you a bit of background, but I actually want to turn it to Juan first so Juan can introduce himself, because Juan's way more important than I am anyway, so.
Oh, get out of here. Oh, guys, I'm Juan from North Capital Group and Compass out of the DC metropolitan area. We've been with Compass for about a year now, but we've been in the real estate business for about 10 years. Mostly doing developments and flipping and things of that nature. Form Kitchens, amazing product. We love these folks. I'm actually sitting in a Form kitchen right now. It's a real kitchen. It's not fake. Beautiful cabinetry, beautiful work. And, just bringing that kind of value to the table, but I'll pass it right back to you.
Awesome. Thank you. So for those that haven't met me yet, my name is Lance Pendleton. I was the former national head of agent development for Compass. Prior to that, I was the chief innovation officer for the largest Sotheby's Realty affiliate in the US. I used to be a real estate agent too. Technically, I guess I still am. I still hold the license. My job though is, and I currently, I own a company that helps focus on agents on how you better connect to people in simplified fashions. And we teach human-centered relationship connections with people. And it's a different philosophical approach really to engaging with people, which is why I was excited to have the opportunity to talk to all of you with Michael and Juan as well, because I'm passionate about certain things that we don't look at in the business, in the industry, because I like thinking about how we can shift and change people's view on stuff. So the first thing I'm going to say is, if you think about what we do within the real estate business, we are adept at dealing with 2 points in time in someone's home life, right? The beginning of their home life and the end of their home life. Problem is there's about 8 years on average in between those 2 periods of time. And the shooting match really is you help somebody at the third most stressful time of their life with the single largest financial asset they have. And that requires a lot of trust. And we talk about agents trying to deliver value and be better at connecting with people. And the challenge there really is how do we not get stuck in a rut? So I like to talk about, especially in shifting markets, what can you do to do things that are outside the box that differentiate yourself from the rest of the pack? Well, the first thing is to recognize how people are actually connecting. And this is a generalization one. So don't get mad at me. You can't throw anything at me because we're not live in person, but
can't do it. Yeah. Take advantage.
Sure one of those like spatulas in the background there would go flying. So one of the things that I like to think about how we communicate with people. You're involved in the third most stressful time in a human being's life. It's right behind death and job loss. You're also dealing with the single largest financial asset they have. And you work with somebody in a incredibly stressful time, but you do this over months and months. This isn't like a one-time come in, they buy something and they leave. If you think about it, you develop a relationship with somebody, you work with them, you work intrinsically for months over end to help them find a home or sell a home. You're invested in every aspect of their entire life. You're dealing with their marital problems, their financial issues, their kids' stuff. You are in their highs, their lows, all the problems that come up within the course of a transaction and a deal. You ride this wave of emotionality with them. They are confided in you as somebody that is guiding them through an incredibly difficult process. And in the end of months of this, when you're at the height of trust with them, what do? You put them on a mailing list. Like, there is literally nothing that says I hate you more than putting somebody on a mailing list. If you don't believe me, take a moment, go into your inbox and just take a look. Trust me, it's not pretty. So what I want to suggest to you is, how do we stop being those people? Because what you've been taught and trained within the business and the industry is, unfortunately, how to remind people of what you do. Where we're going to try and shift this is to remind people of who you are and the value that you can bring them that's beyond, I can help you buy and sell a house. So what does that look like? The problem is you are in a constant state of relentless, frenetic assault on the human senses of reminding them that you're in real estate. My open house, my just sold, my newsletter, the hot new car to paint your front door in spring, my coming soon, my newsletter. By the way, it's another month and you haven't opened the last 5, but guess what? Here's another newsletter. This process has got to stop. It has to. And then we get into, do you want a CMA? Would you like a CMA? Because I can tell you how much your house is worth. That's not what people need and what they want. That's not what builds and delivers trust. So what I'm excited about partnering with, Michael and the team and Juan in particular, because Juan does things very differently, which I appreciate and respect tremendously, is how do you find opportunities to engage with people in a very different fashion to make sure that they are seeing who you are and what is the value of you beyond the beginning of a home life and the end of a home life. And when I think about the best way to start to kind of lean into this is, what is it that people really care about within the process of their home? Well, kitchens happen to be the center, what they call the heart of the home and the nucleus of where people spend the largest amount of their time outside of a bedroom. And what's also interesting when you think about a kitchen is a kitchen, when you do a remodel on a kitchen, it has some of the highest return on investment if and when it is actually done and executed well. You see, poorly designed kitchens that are ugly, which I'm going to turn to Juan, who has much more expertise in this than I am, because trust me, I would produce some of the ugliest kitchens you could possibly imagine. Well-designed kitchens and kitchens that are aesthetically well done increase property value, but they also increase the opportunity for people coming to see that home and experiencing that home to have a different feeling about what living in that home is like. And when you can change someone's feelings about how they experience a home, now you have something that creates tremendous long-term opportunity for how people price a house, how people engage in it. Because remember, you may remodel a bathroom in the master bathroom, and that's great, but no one's coming over to watch the Super Bowl hanging out in your bathroom. Right? Like, that's not how the world works. They're engaged in that part of the home in which you want them to. So, one thing I would love to learn from you, if you wouldn't mind sharing, is really your understanding as an agent. Why is a kitchen important?
Well, first off, I mean, we can talk about percentages and actual, value, right? NAR, even on NAR has a projection that an updated kitchen can add almost 10% of value to your home. Right now, that's the tangible value. But again, I love touching on what you said, is the value of it, people seeing the picture, seeing the video of your listing. It's like, oh my God, we got to go see that. And I guess the important piece there is the kitchen is the nucleus. It's the heart of the home, but it's also the reason that people are going to walk through the door. Now, we all have had listings, right? We're all in real estate, and we know that half the battle is getting people through the door. Right? How do we get them through the door? Because once I get them through the door, the house hopefully will sell itself. Now, I do flips mostly, but I do take my clients that aren't flippers. They just want to move on to something. And then we discuss, what can we put into this home to really get the most profit out of that home, squeeze in every single drop that you can. And obviously, it's really important to understand that the kitchen, I mean, it really is everything. True to form, if you will.
Yeah. And I think that when we start to acknowledge the idea behind when we're thinking about what creating a unique experience and helping someone understand, I always say that when I talk to clients, potentially clients that I'm looking to work with, in a listing presentation, I always say my job, believe it or not, is not to sell your house because I don't sell houses, right? I can prove that. I can put a price on a house super low. What's going to happen?
Right.
It's going to sell. It's got nothing to do with me or any magic that I bring into that picture, right? What I tell people is my job is to find out who wants to live your lifestyle next, because you have a lifestyle. And one of the key components of who wants to live that lifestyle next is, can they come and look at your home to have the forward vision and thinking of, this is a lifestyle that I would really want to live. And that is based in and around a kitchen. So one thing I want to share with you today is going to be, how do I begin to leverage this opportunity to then, as I look at re-engaging with people, remember the game is going to be, how can I catch them in that 8-year time period, is to begin to shift how you're perceived by people as a buying and selling individual, and begin to think more about, how do I help people connect to the other opportunities that I can offer them. So there's 3 key components when you reach out to people that are relative. One is, how do I establish my value beyond I'm in real estate? And you actually have tremendous value to people to help them understand how to live a better quality of lifestyle in the home they already have. Long before someone's going to buy or sell a house, you have to establish the trust with them that they can come to you and that you are a phenomenal networker, that you know lots of other people that could connect them and make them, or connect them to things that would benefit them and their quality of life. You have to help them understand that you have an understanding of how a home works intrinsically, and what areas of opportunity there may be things that they're not thinking about that would make them enjoy the home even more. And my personal favorite is, how do I really express to somebody that what I do is more meaningful than just we're in the buying and selling process? And meaningful to me is, how do I help someone recognize I'm helping you think about the things that are both going to bring you emotional value, personal value, and financial value when you look at the full package here. So quality of life is important, and quality of life, I think, is a key component. So what we've done for you in this case is, I took a template that I've created that I use myself to reach out to people. I shared it with Michael. Michael will send it after this with the package of the video, Michael, correct?
That's correct.
And you can use this as a way to help people recognize what are the 3 things that you can do. One of the ways is to help them understand, and I talk about this a lot, what impact does my neighbor's recent sale have on my home? You see, we go to people like, do you want a CMA? Guess what? Let's be honest. There's already CMAs everywhere they can get. It's called Zillow and Realtor and all of that. And I know everyone went like, Lance, that's wrong. It's incorrect. Yeah, but they don't know that and they don't care. The reality of it is they just assume that that's close enough. What really matters is what did your neighbors do? Why? Because my background, and I didn't really share this with all of you yet, is in behavioral psychology. And what I look at is, how do I help people lean into the thoughts, ideas, and things that I'm bringing to them? One of the ways to make them lean in is by telling them, hey, your neighbor's recent sale changed your property value. If you're ever curious, I'm happy to share with you what's going on there. Because who doesn't want to know, what did that person, who I hate, by the way, that lives next door with that barking dog, do to my house cost? Right? That's a fact. That's curiosity. People want to lean into that. So the template that I'm giving you has a little blurb there about that in it. The second piece of it is to help people understand what part of their home carries the most return on their investment. So if they're thinking of doing any type of improvement, capital improvements, and I'm going to turn it back to you, Juan, in a second for this piece too. How do I help somebody understand that? Now, I don't need to be a home expert. I'm not a home expert. I'm not a builder. I don't understand that, but I know people who are. And what a great way for someone to say, well, we were thinking about redoing the kitchen. And for me to go, I got a great group for you to talk to the folks at Form, because they have a simplified solution where they're going to give you a free design, consultation, and understanding. And the product they produce is higher than most average bear out there. And then the third thing would be then people's financial well-being, because at a time now with some market insecurity and volatility and changes separate from the house. What about longer term planning? How are you thinking about what you want to do next? Are you thinking of retiring soon? Or the kids graduating from college? I can then connect you to some financial planners and people that will work with me in the value of your home to help you identify where you're at and what the long-term goal would be. So I put that in a template for you. It's a quick thing to send out. It's personalized. Please don't put it in a newsletter and e-blast it out to everybody. Remember, that's not about developing meaningful human engagement with people. It's about picking that template, copy it, and then you pick 10 people every week and paste, put in their first name, last name, little PS in there when you know something about them, but share that with them because it's a better, deeper connection of how do I stay with you and develop trust in a period of time now where you could use me in a way that's not about just buying and selling your house, because there's more to you and the value you offer in that. But we're going to give that to you. But I just wanted to point out, it's really important for me because I work with a lot of folks in my client base to get that information out to them, to allow them to recognize, like, I know people, but here's the thing is I know cool people that are doing cool things. And when it comes to, if you're thinking about doing capital improvements and the return on your investment to a kitchen, I can't think of a better process, because I know for most of the Compass agents that I've talked to in my past about Form, and Michael, I'm sure you'll mention this at the end, most of them actually redid their own kitchens as an agent with Form first, and were like, oh my God, this is a different thing. And I know Scott just jumped in and said that he did the bulk email last year from Form that I recommended, and he ended up redoing his kitchen. So it's like, you're going to see a really cool process and product in that. But one, enough of me. When it comes to kitchens, I know nothing about this. You do building related work. What's the difference between what you do and return on investment? And what can you say to agents who may not have your experience in how do you help people understand value within kitchens and can use that to connect with them at a deeper level?
No, absolutely. For example, I have agents on my team that don't have necessarily the background that I do, right? They don't come from the construction world or the development world. And what I teach them is, listen, your value is tied to the resources you have, right? So don't feel like you have to know what's going on. Like, oh, if you put just some granite here and hardwood cabinets, I think you should be good. No, you don't have to. You don't have to put yourself out there in that way. You don't have to know these things. There's teams that you can build, right? Resources, if you will. Form is the perfect resource. I mean, we've used Form here in this kitchen, and I really didn't have to do a lot. Now, when it comes to homes and remodeling homes, at this point in my career, I'm not hands-on anymore. So I'm always looking for teams that do this on a daily basis, and they do it right. Because as we all know, we're only as good as who we recommend, right? And sometimes we don't want to recommend too many people because you don't want to be in a spot where it's like, hey, you recommended Form to me, but they were great. That's what you want to hear. I appreciate that. So it's about getting value beyond just what you know. You don't have to know. You just have to have a good team around you. Now, kitchens is return of investment on kitchens. I put all my money down on kitchens, 100%. Every flip that I do, it's all in the kitchens, because I know that that's when I open the doors on that first open house that weekend, I'm going to get a flood of people that come in. And if people don't even come in to buy, it's neighbors, and they're like, we're thinking about remodeling our kitchen. Okay, great. What are you going to do after you remodel your kitchen? Are we selling it? Well, what's the value of my property? Well, it doesn't have a value until we actually sell it. Well, let me talk to you about that. Let's see what we can do, how we can give you a return of your investment. I mean, it's really about not just, as successful realtors, all of us here, I mean, we're not just here opening doors, right? We're actually here to give some value. And I think just bringing that to the table and having those things in your back pocket really just rises people's eyebrows. It makes the best of it.
Well, one, I'm super curious. I know the thing that I hear a lot from agents is like, look, I'm really anxious about recommending somebody or something like this because of the fact that I feel like they think I should know this, right? I just sent them this email template that said I could help you think about return on investment ideas. But like, what if they say, great, come over and tell me what my return on investment in my kitchen is going to be, right? What would you recommend for somebody in that process?
In that process, I would recommend they call me. No. Again, just going back to, I mean, if you look at Form, a company like Form, for example, and obviously I'm using them because we're all here for the same reason, but a company like Form, you want to look for reputable companies that have been out there a lot. Make some phone calls, get in front of these people, network with them. If you're doing an open house, reach out to Form, reach out to any real company that is in the real estate realm. These contractors love siding with a real estate company, a real estate agent. You know, have them do some co-marketing with you. Oh, they're all over it. They love it. They feel like they're going to have an in as a construction company. And in that way, you can bring them in and you can have them on your phone and just be like, hey, you know what? I have a client. Is there any chance you can meet up with them? Absolutely. Well, let me get out there as soon as possible. You can, I mean, we're the bells of the ball when it comes to in the construction realm. Everybody wants to have an in. You can be that in. That's the way you do it.
Yeah. And I think what you just said is that's creating that in that allows somebody to recognize that you have a different set of opportunities and value that you can offer somebody in that. Mike, I'm gonna turn it back to you in a minute, but you know, I think for me, the big component that I wish you would take from this is not just that there's a template to use to actually have a connection. It's to look more at the why. Why does it matter? Right. You know, if you think about what you can provide for somebody and being a resource is different than being a trusted advisor. And I've shared this before. And again, one, I'm grateful that we're on a screen so you can't throw anything at me. So don't hate me. I hate the term trusted advisor. I hate that term. Please don't use that. And here's why. If I went on the street corner right now and grabbed any random person and I was like, hey, tell me what you think of a real estate agent. No one is going to go, well, my real estate agent is a trusted advisor who helps me with the largest transaction. Like nobody says that. That's things that we say because it makes us feel good. The reality of it is how do you combat what people generally think about an agent? They're overpaid. They don't, you know, I don't know what they do, or they just open doors, or all that stuff that you think that exists in the world out there. It's got to stop. How do you combat that? Well, you can't just tell somebody, well, you could trust me. I'm a trusted person. Right? You have to be able to demonstrate to them that you're in their life for a particular reason to be able to allow them to see, hey, I'm here for all things about the quality of life that you live. And that's maybe not just in the kitchen. Maybe they have a trouble. Who knows? I get calls from people that are like, we need a babysitter. Like, who do you know? Why? Because I just know lots of people because I love networking people together. I just met Juan. I can tell you right now, the next time I get a quote on a project, guess who I'm sending that to? Juan, am I getting ripped off on this? Thank you. I appreciate that, Juan, that I'm not getting ripped off on this. I want to find people, though, in my life, and I want to be able to connect them to people. It's all about, again, when you think about being relationship driven, it's not reminding you all the time that I sell real estate. It's about me demonstrating to you how much I care about what happens in the quality of life that you have, right? So leverage that and use that. Kitchen-wise, I will tell you right now, why did I fall in love with Form? And then I'm going to turn it back to you, Michael. Yeah. You're literally using them daily in your work. Yes. I will tell you, here's what I love about what Michael shared with me and what I love about Form. I love anything that cuts out all the nonsensical crap, because GoodSphere was built on the idea of what's the simplest, smallest thing that I could be doing daily on scale to have the highest return on my time investment personally and professionally. So for me, anything that cuts out middle people, anything that gets right to the root of it. And then the second thing was for me, when I went to do our kitchen, like the number of different people that I was talking to that then, and the designers and all the stuff, and they wanted like $2,000 to do a kitchen design. And I was like, who the hell's paying for that? It's just crazy. It's like all of that stuff just completely got wiped away because I love the simplicity of what Michael was doing and actually everything that Form was working on. And the product itself that they were putting out too, I was like, this is just feels dramatically different. You can see, you know, Juan's going through it, but Michael, I'll turn it back to you. I will shut up, but I just really wanted to like put that endorsement out there. Not that I give shameless plugs often or easily, but I just love cutting out all of the nonsense and BS in and around something.
Well, appreciate all the laudatory words and all the helpful advice that's been dispensed. I do want to say, if you do have a question for Lance or Juan, you can use the Q&A window or the chat window. And we want to make sure we provide you with that opportunity since we're all on the Zoom. But I'll keep it brief. Like Lance said, I think why he and I connected was just our approach, that idea of streamlining and simplifying, and also that mindset, right? We're here to be a resource. We're not here to sell you anything, right? So we're totally open to saying we're not the right solution for you based on what you need, but we really want to shepherd you through this process. It can be gnarly renovating a kitchen, and we're here to demystify it and get you to that successful completion of a beautiful, stunning space that really delivers value and functionality and aesthetics. I'll send an email out after this to all of you with links to book either consultations with our trade team. We work directly with designers, developers, architects, etc., and also our homeowner teams. So if you have a client looking to explore working with Form, we always give free consultations with free estimates and just free advice on what you should really prioritize in that project. But really, at the end of the day, we are here to deliver just a premium product that adds value to your day-to-day living, but also adds value to the asset over time when the asset is no longer yours, right? All of our product comes with a 25-year warranty, so this thing is built to last. But we will provide all the useful links and all the helpful information should you want to learn more about Form and potentially engage with us. We do have a question from Lorna. We are a nationwide offering, so asking what areas we service. By being digitally forward, we can service the whole country. So we've done projects in, I think, almost all 48 continental US states. I don't see any other questions coming through. Lance or Juan, any closing thoughts you want to leave with the people on this Zoom?
For me, it's all about efficiency. I just wanted to say that, just to piggyback on what Lance was saying. I believe in efficiency. I believe in having the right people in place for the things. I like to have an expert in each field, whether it be construction, whether it be real estate, whatever it may be. And I think having having Form Kitchens as a resource where it's a one-stop shop, means all the world to me, because I have a million other things that I'm doing. I know that if I send it over to these folks, they're going to take care of it, And I think that in itself, beyond to kitchens, just in real estate in general, is massive value for everyone. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and I'm just going to second that. I mean, to me, what I experienced in understanding, Michael, how y'all work and the amazing system that you've created there, Form is to kitchen redesign and remodel to what Tesla is to the auto industry and the car buying process. I bought a Tesla and didn't ever talk to a human being. And I know for a lot of people that's terrifying, but for me, it was sort of oh, this is the price and I don't have to haggle with you. And this is what it is. And it kind of kicks ass. And I show up on this day and I just pick it up and there's a tutorial built in. I was like, why would I ever go back to that other system again? Right? I was that was just so amazing. So it is for me, again, it is the simplicity into how we get, what's the small, simple thing that we could be doing. Because what I love about this is, as an agent, you have enough things that you worry about. You have enough stuff going on. You are busy trying to be all things to all people at all times. How do you then connect to people in a more meaningful way that shows them that you have value to put them in in contact with cool things, with cool ideas, even if your client's not going to redo it. Maybe they're not going to do it today. Why wouldn't you tell them there's a new way to deal with kitchens in your life when that time comes? Just the fact that you put them onto something cool, they think of you, they remember you, and that was awesome. Mm-hmm. I checked it out. That seems super cool. Thanks for letting me know about that. Michael, you're on mute.
Appreciate it. Sorry about that. Lance and Juan, really appreciate you joining us today. Like Lance said, I'm going to send a follow-up email. It will have Lance's template in there. We'll also have contact information for both Lance and Juan if you have any questions for them pursuant to other things outside of Form Kitchens. We want to make sure you have access to them as well. But we appreciate everyone joining the call. I know a few questions trickled in at the end, but we've taken those down and we will follow up accordingly with the answers to those questions. But Lance and Juan, once again, really appreciate it, and just a great conversation.
Awesome. Good to see y'all.
All right, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.